Hey, what's up? My name's Alea. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my summer TBR, and I'm also going to be introducing you guys to the new and revamped TBR jar. So, I decided this year to go ahead and just do a summer TBR instead of doing individual TBRs for June, July, and August, because historically I am not the best at sticking to my TBR, which is totally because I'm a mood reader and I can't help it. So I decided to bring back the TBR jar that I used last summer and kind of like redo it. And so, for one thing, I put like these cool stickers on there that have like mushrooms and like a witch and stuff, and it matches with my new reading journal that I got, and it says good vibes on it, and it's also kind of witchy. So these are things that I want to start implementing on the channel. So I'd really like to, try a little TBR jar action and also maybe do some reading journal videos in the future. So those are things that I'm kind of like thinking about. But with these prompts, there's white, pink, and green. So the white ones are the ones that I had last summer, minus a few that were like a little bit too specific, because I'm trying to have like prompts and vibes in here so that I can pull some different things. But I really want them to be kind of like open-ended so that I can have a little bit of flexibility with what books I'm picking versus like just having really specific book titles or prompts that lead you to like one specific book, because that doesn't really work for me. So anyways, the white ones are the ones from last summer that are a little more open-ended, and then the pink ones are new ones that I did, and then there's a couple green that are ones that people suggested to me on Instagram. So if you want to leave me some cool vibes or some prompts and such, then feel free to do that in the comments and I will add them to the jar for the next time that I do like a seasonal TBR video. So anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna pull like 4 of these and then we'll see what we get, and then I'll show you the other books that are like for sure on my TBR. So let's shake up this bad boy, shall we? Close my eyes so I can't cheat. Okay, I got this pink one. Oh, okay. So this one is poetry collection. So anyways, some of these are handwritten and some of them are typed because I'm chaotic, I don't know. Okay, poetry collection, cool. So I actually do have a poetry collection that I just got that I have not read yet. And so I think for this I'm gonna go with Rabbit Heart by Sierra Shuttleworth. So this is a poetry collection that I just randomly found at the bookstore I work at when I was supposed to be shelving the poetry. And it's by this lady who went to grad school at the university that I went to and got her MFA, which I thought was really cool. And I read some of the poems in here, just kind of like skimmed them, and they're really interesting. I think this is going to be like the perfect summer poetry collection because it's supposed to be about desire and loneliness and rage and compassion and just like life. So I'm really interested in this, and the cover is also very cool. So that's a good pick. So that's on the TBR. Let's see what else the TBR jar has for us today. It's really hard to like mix these up. I might have to come up with a different method or something, but we'll figure that out later. Okay, a white one. Okay, this one says random library pick. Okay, I do have like a little pile of library books, so maybe I'll run over there real quick and grab one and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I picked Other Words for Home by Jasmine Warga. I was at the library like a few weeks ago and I picked this up just randomly because I saw it and it looked really cute. And I know that Books and Lala read this and really liked it, and I was interested in it because it's kind of written in prose and the writing is super simple, but I've heard that it's a really impactful story. So I think we follow this young girl who moves to the US from Syria, and she's trying to like navigate life in the US, and I think she's kind of dealing with some like bullying and things for being Middle Eastern and that sort of thing. So I think it's going to be really interesting, and I'm excited to get to this one. Alright, the TBR jar has not done me wrong so far, so let's see if we can get another good one. Okay, this one's stuck, but it's the pink one. So this one is a book you started and didn't finish. Okay. I think for this one, I'm gonna go with one that I am like 2 pages in, and I read like half of this book a few months ago and just never got around to finishing it, and that's One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. So this is one that I was reading it, and I read like almost all of it, and I was loving it. I was gonna give it 5 stars, and then my hold was up at the library and I had to give it back, and so I just never finished it. But I just bought a copy this week, so I'm gonna finish my reread of this, which is actually something I was gonna do anyway, so that just works out fine and dandy for me. So that's that. Let's see what the last one's gonna be in the TBR jar. Okay, is this 1 or is this 2? This is 1. Ooh, okay. This actually also works out well for me. So this one is Haunted Rural America vibes. So I put this in here because this is something that I've been really interested in reading recently. I think I might make a whole video on this actually, with books that have this like dark, grim, like set in rural America, like out in the wheat field, but it's creepy, and that's kind of the vibe that I'm going for. So I think for this, I'm gonna pick a book that I actually just bought, and it's not even here yet, and that's What We Harvest. So this is a YA like nature horror, and it's set in this small town where they have this weird blight that's like killing plants and livestock and people and stuff, and we follow this girl, and her family owns like wheat, and so the blight is finally like coming to their farm and starting to kill the wheat, and she has to like try and save the farm and stuff. So anyways, I read like the first chapter of this on Barnes & Noble website before I ordered it, and it was really, really good. So I'm super excited about this, and I think it's going to totally fit with this vibe. So I think those are the 4 that I'm going to choose from the TBR jar. So we've got Rabbit Heart, Other Words for Home, One Last Stop, and then What We Harvest, which should be here very soon. So those are the 4 TBR jar picks, and then I also have a bunch of other books that are ARCs, or ones that I recently purchased, or ones that are for videos. So I'm gonna go through those. So I have 2 that are kind of like teasers, I guess you could say, for a couple reading vlogs I want to do this summer. So we have Legends and Lattes, which everybody has been talking about on Instagram, and everybody's loving this. So I got a copy, and this is a like cozy fantasy novel about this lady Viv, who's an orc barbarian, and she's spent years like going on all of these adventures and quests and stuff, and she's like tired of it, so she decides to retire and like open a little coffee house. And so it's supposed to be really like fun and sweet, and I really like this because it also has these little like illustrations and stuff at the beginning of the chapters. Like this one has like a little cinnamon roll on it and stuff, and I just heard really good things, and I read like the first chapter and I thought it was really good, so I bought it, and I'm excited to read this. So I want to read this probably soon for a reading vlog, but I'm not going to tell you what the theme is, but that's that. And then I have another one, and I got this from work actually, because if we get books in from like publishers and stuff that are damaged, we have to report the damages, and then the employees can have them for free. So this is a damaged copy that we got, and this is a weird book, I can already tell. It's called shuit, I think. The title is actually French for owl, At least that's what my coworker told me. And so this is a really weird owl book that I heard about on Instagram. And apparently it's about a lady who gets impregnated by an owl somehow and has this baby girl who is like part owl. And it's about her trying to raise her owl child. And she also has a husband who, I don't know what the situation is with him, but it's basically about their family. And I think this is going to be one of those books that's just like really bizarre, and I'm curious about it, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I don't know if this is going to be like, I don't know, too bizarre for me, I guess. But anyways, it has a really strange first paragraph. The beginning of this says, I dream I'm making love with an owl. The next morning I see talon marks across my chest that trace the path of my owl lover's embrace. 2 weeks later I learn that I'm pregnant. You may wonder, how could such a thing come to pass between a woman and an owl? I too am astounded because my owl lover was a woman. That's all I have to say about that. This is also for a themed secret TBR, and you will learn about it later. But this is something that's going to be an interesting experiment. So we've got that as well. And then I have a few arcs that I want to get to that are coming out in like September, October. So we have Malice House, and this is by Megan Shepherd. And this one looks really interesting. It's a spooky one, and the back says that it's the first in a new supernatural horror series, a complex tale of dark magic and family secrets in which a woman attempts to settle the estate of her father, an acclaimed horror novelist. Perfect for fans of Home Before Dark, Ninth House, and Lovecraft Country. So that's all I know. I love Ninth House, and I love that it's supernatural horror. So I don't know, it sounds like it's going to be about a creepy house. There's also a tagline that says, you can't keep out what's already inside. Spooky, creepy, I'm here for it. This is going to be really fun to read this summer. I love reading creepy books in the summer. Yeah, actually this could also be one that could be good for Summerween as well. That's another thing I'm going to be participating in this summer is Summerween, which happens in July. I'm also moving in July, so that's going to be interesting. I'm moving like the week before Summerween. So I think I'm probably going to do like a separate Summerween reading vlog and talk about like my TBR and stuff like that later when we get closer to the time. But this could maybe be like the haunted book that I read for that. We'll see. But that's on the TBR. And then another spooky one is The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. And I'm really excited for this. I've never read one of her books before, so I'm interested to see what I think of this. But I think it's supposed to be kind of like Carrie vibes, girl at prom covered in blood, creepy. It's supposed to be a horror. It's chilling and suspenseful about a biracial teen attending a Georgia high school. And then it sounds like she's also white passing. And it's supposed to be about American racism. So I'm interested in this. We'll see how it goes. We shall see. I'm really excited to try Tiffany D. Jackson's writing. And that also comes out in September. So I'm trying to get these arcs read before they come out. Another one I have is The Undead Truth of Us. And this is one that was on my most anticipated releases of 2022 part 2 video. And this is a zombie novel. And it's YA. It's about a 16-year-old girl, and she's certain that her mother has morphed into a zombie, and she's trying to figure out why. And yeah, it sounds creepy and interesting. And I've heard that it's about zombies and it's about love. And that is all I know, and I'm very intrigued. So there's that. What else do we have over here? I think those are all, well, there's one more arc. I guess the next couple books I'm going to show you are ones that I'm currently reading that I am going to finish soon in June. And so we have this one, Monsters Born and Made, and I actually have a reading vlog for this that I'm working on that should be up soon. But this is really interesting. So this is a YA fantasy, and it's based on like South Asian inspired like culture and stuff. And we follow the 16-year-old girl named Coral and her brother Emmerich, and basically they're trying to capture these animals called maristags for their family. And so apparently their family is in this weird deal with these upper class folks where they're basically like kind of like indentured to these people, and they're forced to catch these animals called maristags and breed them so that the babies can be used in this big like arena battle that's a really big thing in this culture. And it's like a battle to the death. It's almost like kind of gladiator vibes, but it's kind of cool because this world is really like based on like the ocean and the sea and animals and stuff like that. So the maristags, along with like a bunch of other monstrous creatures, live in the ocean, and so it's really dangerous to go and catch them and things like that. So anyways, it's about this girl Coral, and this one year they fail to capture a maristag, and so she basically cheats her way into this big competition to the death, and it's called the Glory Race. And so she's trying to sneak into the Glory Race and win to like help her family. So it's almost kind of like a little bit of Hunger Games vibes, but I started this and I'm really, really enjoying it. The writing is really lyrical and beautiful, and I got sucked into the story like right away. So I think this is going to be a really good one to look out for if you're into YA fantasy. And then another one I'm currently reading is Evergreen. So this is another one that fits into the like haunted rural America vibes kind of a book. And so this is an anthology that I just found. I actually just started reading this last night because one of my coworkers recommended this to me when I told them that I was on the hunt for books with this kind of a vibe. So it's called Evergreen, Grim Tales and Verses from the Gloomy Northwest. And it's basically like poetry and essays and vignettes and stuff by all these different authors. And it's about like the Pacific Northwest, and it's also about like death and the natural world and all these different things, but it's really cool and it's extremely well written, and I'm absolutely loving this so far. So if you're into like stuff that's set in the Pacific Northwest and you like grim, gloomy, good writing, then I would recommend you look at this. I've never heard of this before until I found it at work yesterday from my coworker. So that's really cool. And then I have a couple more that I recently purchased that I kind of want to read this summer. So I just got this Lisa Kleypas book, and it's called Rain Shadow Road. And I really liked the last Lisa Kleypas that I read, Again the Magic. So I found this at Goodwill, and I thought, what the heck, I'll buy it. And I think it's going to be a really good summer read. It's got some romance, and that's all I really know. I don't really want to know too much. I think it's technically the second one in the series, but I don't think you really have to read them in order. But anyways, this is just like a romance, and it's set at this place called Friday Harbor that's like a seaside town, I think. And it's about this lady, and it sounds like she is a glass worker, and she makes like, I don't know, like stuff out of stained glass. And she has like a bitter betrayal, and then I think she ends up falling for this guy named Sam, who's like a local guy who lives in the town. So anyways, that's all I really know, but this sounds like a fun like beach read for the summer, and I'm excited about that. And then I got two more that I just bought because I have been on a book buying kick the last couple weeks, I gotta say. So I got this new one, The Stardust Thief, and I'm very excited for this. So this is a adult high fantasy, and it is like a desert fantasy. So it's kind of like giving City of Brass vibes. It's about this girl who sells illegal magic with the help of her djinn bodyguard. And that's all I really know. And it sounds like there's also a sultan and a djinn queen, and that's, yeah, I don't want to know too much, to be honest, but it's very cool. It's a beautiful edition. It also has a really cool map in the front. So here's the map, very like desert vibes, very cool. And then I saw a copy of this at the bookstore, and so I was reading the beginning of it, and it was really good. So it starts off with the tale of the djinn, and it's like this really cool like letter format that I really like. So anyways, I think this is going to be cool. It has these letters like throughout it too. So anyway, very exciting. This is another one that was on my list of most anticipated books. And then I saw this and was like, I gotta get this. It's stunning. So I'm super excited about this. The writing is also really good. And then I got another one, this is the last one, and it's When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. So this is one that's been going around. This is a sapphic adult novel, and it's about women in the 1950s who turn into dragons. And that is all I really know. It says, Alex Green is a young girl in a world much like ours, except for its most seminal event, the mass dragoning of 1955, when hundreds of thousands of ordinary wives and mothers spread wings, scales, and talons, left a trail of fiery destruction in their paths, and took to the skies. Was it their choice? What will become of those left behind? Why did Alex's beloved aunt Marla transform, but Alex's mother did not? No one knows. It's taboo to speak of it. That is all I know. But I'm excited. This is another one that I saw at the bookstore, and I read the beginning of it, and the writing was really lyrical and beautiful, and I was like, you know what? I want to read the rest of this book. I think it's supposed to be like a feminist story, and it sounds like, I'm not sure if it's going to be like full-on fantasy or more like magical realism, but I'm very intrigued, and I've heard a lot of good things about Kelly Barnhill's writing. Everybody says that her books are really good, and I wanted to try her out, so I got this. So I think that is all the books on my TBR for this summer. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books. I would love to hear your thoughts, and let me know what books you're planning to read this summer because I'd love to know. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!